did that feel after a couple of weeks off and then, being the leading scorer? It must have felt good to get back.
Yeah, it was a great feeling being out there with my brothers, being able to compete again. So it's a great win ultimately.
Sam, you guys' kind of demeanor when they went on that 13-2 run, tied the game, lack of panic, it certainly seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, now we're however many games into the year. A lot of our young guys have experience now, and so I think just from the top down, we know to stay poised and stay calm in those situations because we've been in those situations plenty of times this year so far. And yeah, our poise really came out tonight.
What was going through your mind on that last and one, the one with the kind of at the end of the clock when you?
Oh, I lost the ball, didn't really know what to do, and just tried my hardest to get downhill, and luckily it went in.
Blake, what was wrong with you? Were you out?
Upper body, shoulder injury. I felt the flow right away. Getting out there competing, so I wasn't worried about my injuries or anything like that. So wasn't worried about any of my injuries or anything like that.
Obviously Aismus and O'Banner got theirs, but defensively that had to feel like a pretty complete performance. These guys are averaging 70-plus points a game.
Yeah, especially in the first half. I think those two were the only two that scored. So, I mean, obviously we limited the other players, but they did get theirs. And I think they had like 20-something at halftime, which was really good for us. Obviously, we got to be a little bit better in the second half, containing the other players. But overall, I think our defensive effort was pretty good tonight.
Wayne Sam was started. Both halves were top-notch.
I mean, just before the game, we were kind of talking about how last week we weren't pleased with our starts. And to be honest, we had somewhat of a laid-back week of practice, so we could be teed up for tonight, and I think we all saw that.
Mountain.
Yeah, just having fun. Our coach Richmond, talks about just hooping all the time, and I think that was the main focus in the starts of the halves.
Your commentary on Dez and Grant, two true freshmen. Rocky fouls out. One of them's going to have to play. Just their ability to stay calm in those moments.
Yeah, it's great to see two freshmen have a lot of poise, stay solid out there when a guy like Rocky goes out. With our team, it's 1 through 14, everyone has to step up. Whoever's on the court got to do their thing out there. So.
For some obvious reasons, just extremely proud of the guys. It wasn't certainly a thing of beauty. I thought, we had some really good looks at times. We just were short for whatever reason, something I think this group is certainly capable of cleaning up. Obviously, it was really nice to see 23 back out there and just the energy and the spark that he gave us. And what I saw was growth from a standpoint of the shots weren't falling, but it didn't affect who we were on the other end. We still got stops. We still finished possessions for the better part. I thought, they had a stretch there where they got 2 offensive rebounds and 2 threes back-to-back that they crawled back into it. But that's a really talented outfit. We're going to have to reset and lock in for another 40 tomorrow night.
Your thoughts on your team's ability to respond to that? I mean, not making shots and they go on a 13-2 run, just no panic.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, like this is the ultimate culture group that I've been fortunate to be a part of here. And there's mature young men. There's tremendous leadership in that locker room with Sam, Tyree, and Rocky. And they responded. We were in some similar situations last Saturday at Kansas City, and we didn't respond very well. And coming out, Tyree made that big 3 when it was a tie game, and that kind of just broke the ice a little bit, so to speak, and we were able to make enough plays down the stretch.
Your commentary on the 2 true freshmen that played tonight, Dez, making those 2 free throws at the end was big, and then Grant having to come in when Rocky falls out.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to see. I got on Dez at the end of the first half, and he got that charge, and he's growing up a lot, and you can see it so much in the last couple of weeks. I thought he was good against Denver. I thought he was really good for the better part of the UMKC series, playing a lot in those 2 minutes, and he's just getting more and more comfortable out there, and it's fun to see. I mean, we've talked about you go back to when we were 0-5 and 0-6, but you could see some things, and this group is really growing together.
What's it like playing a team that 2 guys are doing all the scoring?
You know, I mean, you can get caught up in. It was a little bit like I suppose how teams treated us last year at times when Vinny and Tice were like that. I think it's important that as talented as those guys are, that we understand it took Ace missed 22 shots to get 20, and you start running doubles or doing different things like that to those guys. Those other guys are really good players as well, and so. We need to continue to be sound. I think there's some things just from our principle-wise. I didn't like our discipline on some closeouts. We switched a couple times unnecessarily. Just some things that we got to clean up before tomorrow night.
Overall, though, you had to be pretty pleased with the defensive performance, and these guys are 15-plus points below their season average.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, it's February 5th already, and you can see games get tighter. And basketball and teams start to separate themselves in February as they prepare for March. And I think it's so important that, on a night like this, even at home when shots aren't falling, you got to be able to get stops. And our guys did that. For the most part, we were +4 on the glass. I thought they had, like I said, that stretch. And again, like as always, we got 12 turnovers is probably 2 or 3 too many.